Morning Manila. I am Billy here at the TVNN studio. Breaking news. We have just received reports of tremors being felt in northern Luzon. Scientists at PhySci have confirmed that it was indeed an earthquake with a magnitude of 8.2 on both the Richter and moment magnitude scales. The earthquake is the strongest to be recorded in the country since the Morro Gulf earthquake of 1976, which had a magnitude. The epicenter of the earthquake was determined to be in Baguio. The earthquake was reported to have started at around 4:30 in the morning, and the initial shaking lasted for about 5 minutes. At present, the casualties are reported to be around 7,000 people, but the number is expected to rise as the aftershocks continue to be felt in the area. Around 20% of the victims are believed to have been tourists due to the fact that Baguio is a popular tourist destination, especially during the current season. The population of Baguio is around 320,000 people, and it is estimated that at least half of these people are affected by the earthquake. We have a field reporter on site, Ignacio Velarde, live from Baguio. How are things there, Ignacio?
Morning, Bree. Yes, I am here currently in Baguio, and things aren't looking so well for the people. Right now, I'm in a school which is being used to shelter the victims of the earthquake, and that's why the victims are mostly intact. However, for several kilometers around the center of the earthquake, almost all of the buildings are badly damaged. Most of the structures have collapsed and thousands of people are either missing or homeless. The damage of the earthquake is much greater than what we earlier perceived. The locals here are very upset and angry about the disaster. They have many questions about the event or even blaming the government for their lack of preparedness. Really, I understand that you have an expert with you in the studio.
Yes, Ignacio, that's right. One of the leading seismologists at PhySci, and in fact, one of the scientists who confirmed the magnitude of the earthquake, Mr. Soriente, is here with me today.
Good morning, Ignacio. I will be happy to answer any questions that the people may ask them.
Here with me right now is Miss Chanko, whose home was utterly devastated by the earthquake. She says that her and her family were asleep when the earthquake started. At first, they were confused as to why the ground was shaking. However, when they realized that it was indeed an earthquake, they immediately ran out of the house and into an open area.
My family and I lost everything we had because of that earthquake. My brother nearly died trying to get out of the house. We weren't prepared for a tragedy like that at all. We weren't even informed that there would be an imminent disaster. I want to know whether the government will warn us about the earthquakes. The authorities had warned us that a calamity like this would happen. We would have been able to prepare for it, and I'm certain the damages and losses wouldn't be as great or as many.
First of all, Ms. Tiampo, I understand your anger at the situation. However, I would just like to clarify that there is no certain way to predict an earthquake. That is a common misconception of the people. But the truth is, there is no technology that can predict when an earthquake will occur. Neither the USGS or Caltech, nor any other scientists have ever predicted a major earthquake. They do not know how, and they do not expect to know how any time in the foreseeable future. The government couldn't have warned you because they had no way of knowing when an earthquake was going to happen.
Okay, I understand that now. But I have another concern. As I said earlier, my brother almost died when we were running out of the house. He stood under the doorway because he had heard that it was the strongest part of the house and would therefore be the safest place to stay during an earthquake. However, he was almost hit by the falling debris. Fortunately, he got out right before the entire house collapsed. Do you have anything to say on this common belief?
That is, once again, a common misconception. Most people believe that it would be safe to stand under the doorway during an earthquake because the frame would protect them from falling objects. However, this is not true. In fact, it would be more dangerous to stand under the doorway because the doors would be slamming open and shut during an earthquake. If you were standing in the doorway, there is a big chance that you could get hit by the door. The best thing to do when you feel shaking is to immediately drop to the ground before the energy throws you off your feet. You should then crawl underneath something that can protect you from falling off.
Thank you for all that information, Mr. Soriente. I'll keep that in mind.
Again, thank you for answering the questions of Ms. Chanko. We hope that the locals will be more aware of disasters like this in the future. Once again, I'm Ignacio Velarde of TVNN, live from Baguio. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you for that, Ignacio. So Brian, I'm sure that by now most of our viewers are interested on the topic of earthquakes. Which you're an expert on. So please enlighten us and give us important insight on the subject. What are earthquakes and how are they formed? What causes them?
The Earth's crust is broken up into many rocky plates, like pieces of a puzzle. These plates are constantly moving, albeit very slowly, because of the Earth's molten mantle underneath. As the plates move past each other along fault zones, they sometimes get caught and pressure builds up. When the plates finally give and slip due to the increased pressure, the energy is released as seismic waves, causing the ground to shake. This is an earthquake.
Thank you for that, Brian. It was certainly very helpful and enlightening. If you wish to help or give aid to the rescue missions currently ongoing in Baguio, please contact Red Cross or the local government at their respective hotlines. Once again, I am Billy Yee for TVNN, and this has been our breaking news story for this morning. Good day to you all.